endometriosis is so unique. Like, we have very different ways that our bodies are reacting and responding.
It's quite scary, like just knowing that there's just so many unknowns. It's like doctors are just figuring out stuff. This is correct today, tomorrow it's not. So yeah, that
really gives you the
it does, because I'm like, okay,
I will never forgive the nurse that got me out of my bed after my first laparoscopy surgery, and she made me walk. So she made me walk. She's like, Panange, you girls of nowadays, people give birth and they start walking. I still had all the anesthesia on me, and this woman was dragging me down the hall to walk.
I had a doctor who told me, don't be a Barbie girl. And I was like, this is not my first rodeo.
In 2020, I got the diagnosis of my life. I could barely pronounce it, and I remember we're going for lockdown, so I even had no one to consult. Alas, Faith Mulungi at 30 years old was found with endometriosis. And just as I was there trying to process everything, I was told, oh, you don't just have that condition, you also have the cousin. So they decided to come in pairs. Adenomyosis. Hi, welcome to Thrive with Mulungi, where conversations bloom. And today, I, together with two amazing ladies, are going to come clean about a condition that we live with. Now, before you run for your life, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month, and April is Adenomyosis Awareness Month. My beautiful co-hosts and I are wearing yellow, not because we are contesting to be MPs, no, but because yellow is endometriosis awareness color. And like I mentioned, adenomyosis also has an aspect of yellow and purple. Today we are going to talk about a condition that is eating up so many women, but the newest statistics as of 2025, 1 out of 7 women lives with endometriosis. And I must tell you, we coming here in front of you to talk about this condition is not because, yay, we're winning it, but it's because we are tired of a culture of silence. And I'm saying we because over here is Jean and Sheila, and together we want to break the silence on this illness that affects 1 out of 7 women. Please note that diagnosing endometriosis can take up to 20 years. So even that 1 out of 7, we may not even know if that's the actual figure. So we want to let you in, and we will be having these conversations, not just for endometriosis or adenomyosis. We feel it very wise to talk about illnesses that a lot of women suffer from in silence. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome with me, my co-hosts, Jean and Sheila, who we had to look through our closets to get the nearest. I got my Sunday best. And as you can see, we are here very excited. We are going to begin this segment whenever we are able to by telling you what's in our cup. Because who is an endometriosis warrior without a cup of tea? What's in your cup, Sheila?
So, this is peppermint. No, this is just black tea, but the flavor is peppermint. It's peppermint, yeah. And when you live with endo, you know, you always have to take tea. You have different flavors that we like, but this helps. Yeah, this helps.
And I am taking a green tea. Green tea is very, very good with inflammation or anti-inflammatory properties. Because this illness has no cure, we have to find a way of surviving. And what better way than becoming the ladies with a cup of tea. What's in your cup?
Oh, girls, my cup is filled with lots of chia seeds, not intended, and hot water. Because somehow, hot water has become a personal recipe that just gets the day moving, and it doesn't matter the sun outside. Cup of hot water somehow speaks to endo beautifully.
Yeah, so cheers to having these conversations with us. And I want us to get to know my co-hosts. I call them co-hosts because we have been longing for a space to talk about this condition. And all of us found out we had endo at different avenues. And we are going to get briefly into that. But before that, ladies, we are going to play a game.
Okay.
It's called 10 in 30, where I ask you a question and you have 30 seconds to respond to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was not rehearsed, guys.
No.
It's a bit of a problem.
Let's hope the grapefruit is not on. But that's a thing too, but we'll see.
Okay. According to you, if endometriosis was a celebrity, who would it be and why?
Maui.
Indeed, Yamawe.
Like the only name coming to my head is Jada Pinkett, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's like spunky, but can be a little bit dangerous. I don't know, but she came into my mind.
Okay, so
Like
we'll
you
go
don't
with
see it
Jada.
coming.
We'll
Yeah.
go with Jada for Jin.
If endo
Yeah.
was a celebrity. So if I give the answer I'd give is so silly, and not because I don't know if I've really thought this through, but so I grew up on action movies, and the guy that's coming to mind is a man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And let me tell you why. Terminator, Commando, Last Action Hero. He so in Uganda it says starter fire.
Yeah, come on.
So it feels, you know, the guy was never beaten. Like you'd go through like the worst of it. That's what comes to mind. And that's why I like Expendables, because we will not be expended. Yeah. So think about the others, Rambo, who, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was my very best.
I have mine. Don't come for me. Donald Trump. I won't explain any further.
Okay.
Yeah. What hack does everyone swear by that hasn't worked for you in your endometriosis journey? Everyone swears it works.
This is going to sound bad, but it's okay. This whole diet, healthy eating. Anyway, I think it really depends on at what stage they catch this anyway. But when they catch it late, it's like the damage has been done. So leave a little, take your sugar, like in my tea. I try to eat dark chocolate. Anyhow, this healthy stuff. But the thing is, because our bodies are different, some things will irritate me, so I'll get off them. So I'm being honest, yeah? But it's not one size fits all. Some people eat spaghetti, no problem. Wheat, no problem. Dairy. Other people, yeah. So I try to live, because I'm in pain a lot. So I'm like, why not enjoy my food?
Can I confess? Sometimes I'm like, you're hurting me for no reason. Let me give you a reason to hurt me for. Typical African mother.
I hear you though. I do. I'm like, I'll be in pain either way. But healthy eating generally is good.
It's good. Yeah.
Disclaimer. Yeah. But figure out what works for you, because sometimes it's not what everyone says, but feel what your body accepts or rejects. Yeah.
Or is the confession going to be so scandalous? You agree?
I was trying to edit and have some correct things to say. No, but I think it's mostly food. So I remember being told just get off milk. I'm like, that's the only thing I like. I'm stage 4 endo and adeno, and I cannot live without my cup of milk. And so I'm still committed to the lactose. And like she said, have your chocolate. I'll still have my coffee. And I've not seen that make a difference. I did try, and this trial was 2 weeks, and nothing happened. It was like the pain was still there. And I was like, why am I going to suffer? I shall drink the milk. Yeah. So
yeah, I think the exercise hack, it almost killed me. Everyone's like, exercise. What? Guys, last year I was even lifting some dumbbells until I ended up in hospital, and my doctor looked at me, Dr. Momuza looked at me and says, why are you doing this? What are you doing for? And I think that the gist of us telling you this is there is no one size fits all. Sometimes the most exercise you're going to do is walk for 10 minutes and listen to what your body tells you. I can't try milk unless if I don't want peace. Living with endo belly is like
you want to go first, Jude?
No, the English is complicated.
Endo belly. What is it like living with it?
There's feeling pregnant. You've not been pregnant, but it feels like you're pregnant. It feels like you're just full. You want to eat your food, but there's no space for the food to go. It's just uncomfortable. Finding, you guys, it's a struggle finding clothes for me. Now, I don't like anything that touches my waist. I'm wearing these jeans, thankfully, they are comfortable. But right now, my ideal thing to wear is a Diran, because I wear them for my work, so it works for me. But I like free clothes. Nothing should touch my belly, but it's very uncomfortable for the most part. It's very uncomfortable.
I think it's like having like a physical, sensitive mood swing. Like it's there.
It manifests
physically. And for me, it's just like very unexpected. And those moments have a lot of congratulations, finally!
That's not funny.
And so it's because I'm quite petite, and unlike other, people that struggle with endo, I've mostly remained petite, and so when it does flare,
You look like you're pregnant.
Finally, the Lord has answered our prayers.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
And all the social media in-laws and physical in-laws that send their congratulations, and then it's like it's a very painful mood swing because it's right there. It's a reflection of pain that I can touch, and I don't know when the mood swing goes away and when it's coming. I don't feel it coming or when it's going away.
I will never forget the day I post outfit of the day, and it's been my way of reclaiming my body 3 surgeries down the road, because with every scar, with every laparoscopy you get is a reminder that your body is struggling. And so I do outfit of the day to just remind myself that I'm a hot babe.
You are, but
and this one time, thank you, babe. This one time, I take my outfit of the day and I post it, and this lady inboxes me with tips on how to get rid of my stomach. So endo belly for me feels like battling dysmorphia and body shamers in one day. Like they real went in hard. Even Kalulava, even me, I used to have that stomach, but this is what I did. Please keep it in mind. Endo belly it's endometriosis just messing up with you. So I guess it's a reminder to just be kinder. I know you want to be, but
you can be. You really can be, because you know better.
You can't. You can just like zip it.
Or just send a voice note to yourself and listen to it and see if it actually tests. You would love to hear that said to you. What is your biggest ache in this journey? What gives you that?
I think for me, I'm really trying to educate myself and others around me, because people, are you okay now? Are you okay?
When they find you out having a good time at a wedding and they go, hi Sheila, how are you? How are you now? How is the disease? I am at a wedding. But continue.
Anyway, there's that. But also it's like the more you find out about this disease, this monster, this very ugly thing, the more you realize how much unknown is there. It gets very, very scary. So for me, I have my moments of being curious and I'm reading, and then after I'm like, you know what, maybe ignorance is bliss. So I first chill. Then I'm like, okay, who's going to do this for me? So it's quite scary. Like just knowing that there's just so many unknowns. It's like doctors are just figuring out stuff. This is correct today, tomorrow it's not. So that
really gives you the
it does, because I'm like, okay, if tomorrow it's changing, but it does help. Like knowledge empowers. So it's that balance of how much is too much, how much gets overwhelming, but also knowing how to like search in the right places. But that's just unknown thing, and people feeling like it's been figured out, or you're refusing all these solutions we are giving you. You're big-headed. I'm like, it's my big head.
But have you tried Pastor so-and-so?
And in Dimulokole, by the way, so you can imagine how annoying that is. I keep telling people, do you actually think someone that's sick doesn't want to be well, do you actually think I sit back and I'm like, no, I'm just going to be big-headed, I won't go to this pastor?
But don't you want the attention?
Yes, definitely. And, I've always kind of grown up to be an attention seeker. So it's why I chose this disease, as you can imagine. So when I strut down the road, it's like, yes, but endo, look at me. And that draws me into like being tired of shame. And I think the longest time for me, and this is since I was 15, because it's associated with your menstrual cycle, which fast forward 4 months is like you're bleeding. And so it's shameful. And then you have this disease that's associated with that. So as kind of grow up, it's just like all the shame that's in you versus the pain and what the world projects on you. And just getting angry or feeling ashamed of the fact that I wake up and I'm not sure what my day is going to look like. And no one has no clue apart from me. I cannot explain my pain. I'm exhausted because you feel like, okay, now we can't get you in pain all the time. Like, are you better now? Like, when does the disease stop? Like, for you, are you? And it's just like, okay, now I need to maybe dumb down my pain for other people and just like that cycle of shame, just like, it's two-way shame, it's external shame, it's internal shame, and it's just like really, really draining. And the fact that there seems to be no answers, and that leaves me, just buying more shame and adding to the pain that already exists in my life. And like I shouldn't have to feel this way.
That's very interesting. I think I have a 2-in-1. Unkind doctors and medical practitioners.
But when we're trying to cover these things and you just like,
I'm going to look into the camera for this one. Sir, madam, life is hard enough already. This is pain you read about. This is pain you will never experience.
Well, you could.
So
you could.
If you are a woman who has endo, but for like the guys, because most of the people within the field are most of them are guys. The guys are male, but even the women that are in these spaces, when we tell you I am in pain, I am in pain. I will never forgive the nurse that got me out of my bed after my first laparoscopy surgery, and she made me walk. So she made me walk. She's like, Panange, you girls of nowadays, people give birth and they start walking. I still had all the anesthesia on me, and this woman was dragging me down the hall to walk. Later on, my friends insist, they're like, no, you're not going to do that. They consult the doctor, and the doctor had to check me and said, oh, you would have, like, if you had walked any further, your life was in danger. So we are already dealing with a lot. And I think that you can have the knowledge and the empathy. You don't have to first have HIV to know how it affects someone. If someone has pain that you never experience, and this episode makes me miss a friend of mine who passed on. Actually, I think I'm going to dedicate this episode to her because I'd promised I would do something like this. Josie, she was a sickler. And she had sickle cell anemia, and she would always talk about how, this is pain that someone is reading about and they'll never experience, but then they center themselves around it and they assure you it's not that bad. So I am the one with the organs that have this disease. It is that bad. But also the other set of people are unkind people who make snide remarks. If an endo warrior comes and tells you I don't take sugar, if you find them taking their medication, keep the comments to yourself. I remember there's someone who told me, if the Ugandan government banned tabs, you would die.
Wow.
You would die. Those are so many tablets to take. So a little kindness, a little self-awareness and sensitivity, especially if you have no idea what someone is dealing with, could go a very long way. And for me, those really go hand in hand. I should not feel ashamed because I'm taking my vitamins. I should not have to first explain to you what I am taking. I'm just trying to live a life as a little bit, no more, as you do.
Let's add something to
Yes,
that.
please.
To the doctors, it takes, some of us actually more outspoken, bold.
Yeah.
We feel a certain way. We are quite comfortable in our body and makeup by and large. Doesn't mean that we're not vulnerable. It doesn't mean that we don't have seasons where we don't like what we look like, feel like. So going to the hospital is one of the hardest things I can tell you. Seeing a gyne is a very private thing. So some of us have to tell ourselves this is just anatomy. You're going to expose yourself to another stranger. Yes, he's a doctor, but he's still a man. So be sensitive. It takes someone courage to come to say this is my problem. It's in this very private place. This is how it hurts. Please be sensitive, be kind. And we want to believe that we know our bodies. We feel the things we feel. Please believe us.
Yeah.
Do not dismiss us.
I think it's also like to specialist doctors who get to have like God syndrome, because then you have a niche, right? But endometriosis is so unique. Like we have very different ways that our bodies are reacting and responding. So shoving your one idea at me just because it worked for Sheila or Faith is another way of just like shutting me up, because you're not really listening to what I'm saying. And it's almost saying like, you're not the first one I've worked on. Like, I got this thing, but I'm the one that lives it every day. So don't bring Sheila's experience to me. I had a doctor who told me, don't be a Barbie girl. And I was like, this is not my first rodeo. And I just, and he's really great at what he does, but just that insensitivity just like made me cringe that I didn't feel like I could go back for my, second opinion. I needed to see him for the after surgery, but I delayed that, and that's also not really good for me. But that's again the reception that we get, and just adding to the kind of worms already existing on my plate. And
I'm glad we actually get to talk about this. If I had $1, or if you had $1 for every time someone said or did this, you would be rich. You can just insert an experience or an expense or the things that you've encountered. What's that one thing that if you had $1 for right now would be sitting in a chair filled with money?
For me, it's probably, are you okay? I think people around me are not very keen to say mean things to me, because in my mother's language, this is to mean I will make you eat your words, because I do not take well to bad treatment. I have one life. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I intend to treat others with kindness and respect. I absolutely expect the same. But the thing that rubs me wrong is people who keep asking me, like I've told you, especially if you know a bit of my story, they'll be like, but you had surgery the other day. It's like, stop telling us you're sick. We talk Chira like you don't get well. What's up with you? I'm fine with you saying, Chila, I really don't get this disease because I thought this helped. I mean, there are different ways to ask. The truth is, people are ignorant. I will say that. People are ignorant. But there's a way to learn without being unkind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There is concern, and we are grateful that you're concerned about us. But I think people get tired of us. And to be honest, we don't blame you, because you don't live with this illness.
Because we also get tired of us too.
We also get tired of us, by the way. You also get tired. Actually, let me tell you, the thing is, half the time I'll just say I'm okay because I can't deal with the further conversation. It's when you're my friend that I will give you more than you've asked for. Like I'll give you the detail of how it's not fun. But most times you just say I'm okay because, but now these days I learn to tell people I have less days when I'm not in pain than when I do so. Like sometimes I'm just impatient with all this niceness and being kind. I'm like, maybe if we are more honest, maybe then people will learn. Think umanya, like, I don't know. It's got to be a balance. Like I have to know people mean well, that's true. But also people should also do a bit of homework. We're all on Google, like Google Call. Like
we are on TikTok, there are all these videos.
So if you're really interested, you can learn a bit. Don't be very insensitive. It's a very painful disease. Not just physically, it's mentally. It works you, emotionally. I can't even,
Speaking of insensitivity and the things people say, can we not ask endo warriors, how do you have sex? There's someone who told me, you need to stop going by that level, because then men don't want to marry damaged women.
Oh, it's okay. They can Anyway, I'm sorry.
That's the biggest one that I think I got a lot from more, female adults who are keen to make sure that you're in a good relationship. So you told him that you have what? You need to start keeping such things. And, we can, they always have a backup plan on how they can help you in the background, but please keep your mess to yourself, because who is going to pursue you on the streets and how they're going to look at you. And to me, it was sadder coming from women that seemed to want me to be more hush-hush. I remember just having my first surgery, and they said I should just change the name of what the surgery is so I don't expose what I'm being treated for, because, people could know. And what's that going to do to the relationship world?
Wow.
And while I'm recovering and on morphine, the greatest thing in the room was like, but make sure they don't know, because that becomes your label, and that's not good for you as a woman, and even for your own future. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, there is just so much to say, but the beauty is we're going to have more of these conversations today. Think of today as us getting certain things off our chests. But before we wrap this up, who is Sheila outside endometriosis?
Sheila loves God. Like, I really believe in God. And when I say God, I mean like Jesus dying on the cross and saving us, like that full thing. I believe it. I believe it, but I have problems with the church. Us, the body of Christ. Then Sheila is a reader. Sheila is a daughter. She's an aunt. I teach English and French. I'm a lover of God's world. He's made a really, really beautiful world, and I love people. Generally speaking, I love people. Yeah.
What are your expectations from this journey that we've started today?
Honestly, the thing I think that we need to put out there the most is people to know what endo actually is. Like, let's stop hashing things up. And I would like to say this, in many ways it's a men's world. So we need men to be on board. Yeah, we also don't want the men to say, this is a women's issue. Like, care properly, because there are people who are making the policies, I don't know, doing what. But this stuff affects us. Like, we are not in a world of just women or men. It's a world of men and women. And I think God was very intentional in making the human being male and female. So men, please also get on board. Yeah.
That's interesting. Please allow us meet Jean outside endometriosis, and what you hope this journey will achieve.
So most days I pronounce my name fancy and right in French, which is Jean. And outside endometriosis that lives within me is like a dream girl. I don't like rules. So meaning how I've pursued careers is finding things that don't make sense and make them make sense for me. Whether it's opening a space or doing something strange with special needs in schools. I'm from the business background, and I like everything clinical psychology, and I try to merge all those worlds, whether I'm making a pitch of a new business or supporting a startup or just having conversation with women. I'm out to kind of relearn every day what I am, what I want to do. And right now I'm in a phase of re-understanding what that looks like for me. But I like small, cozy conversation. I like just what relational economics can do for the world. And I'm really keen to make sense of that in how I practice it every day. Yeah.
How does it feel sharing a name with Reggae Jean?
Well, I need to pretend like I know the person.
And I might say it's pronounced Jean.
Jean.
As a French speaker, it's Jean.
Clearly, I'm representing everyone else whose primary school doesn't exist anymore.
I just really wanted to appreciate you because to me, even just being here, and shame has been my biggest part of my disease that has really, kept me in the background. I just want to cheer everyone else who's happy to kind of, like the first time I saw fundraising, and I think Sheila's was like, whoa, some bold people going out there with their things.
We have a disease.
We have a disease. No, I have lived perfectionism since I was 15, and that's always been my pain. I came from a background where it's like, you don't put out your stuff out
business,
there. But I have seen firsthand the pain of that shame, and how I wish there was, when I was 15 years old, I wish there was some bold woman that was willing to just like unpack that for me, so that I don't feel lost and confused and more ashamed. And so I'm really grateful to just have a place to start to unpack that for someone else, and to share it with people that, if the rest of you judge me, I don't care. I'm doing it for the 15-year-old girl out there. So thank you, Sheila.
Wait, where were we? Faith Mulungi. I prefer going by my last name, and I am so many things which you need to stick around to this podcast to find out, and I'm so privileged that we get to do this together. In the next episode, we'll be unpacking endometriosis, where we are able to. We'll probably have a few specialists come in, but to talk about other things, because endometriosis comes with other illnesses as well. But to any endo warrior out there, we definitely would like to welcome you. This is your space. PCOS, girlies, fibroids, fibrosis, all of that stuff. This is a place where we intend to talk about these things and demystify them. So please do go ahead, subscribe, comment, and like and share. Sheila and Jean and Mulungi will be back. Catch you in the next episode of Mulungi.
Bye. Thank you.